Welcome AVA to another CGO interview. Today we have the Double K, also known as Kwelie and Kimpah. Welcome to the show.
Yoo-hoo!
Thank you.
Hello.
So just to get started here, can you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves to the viewers so they kind of know who you are if they don't already? Kwelie, if you want to start with yourself.
Well, I'm Kwelie. I am 23 years old from Norway. Yes.
And Kimpah.
Yeah, I'm Kim, also known as Kimpah. I'm from Sweden, 23 years old, main scope in Crackheads.
Let's head into the actual questions. Before we get into competitive AVA, let's just take a step back and ask why you guys like competition and why you compete in AVA. Kimpah, if you want to start.
Oh wow, why is a really good question. I don't really know why, but it's a way of life for me. I like to compete in everything, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's along the same lines for me. I mean, I've always been competing in whatever I was doing, and I think it's a guy thing, you know. Everyone loves to compete, and that's probably why we play AVA.
So that kind of passion, how does that translate into AVA in your like daily day-to-day stuff of competing in AVA and preparing for it?
Right now, there's not that much going on. We are trying to stay ahead and afloat of what's going on with AIC coming up, but there's not that much teams playing right now, which is a shame. But you know, we try and stay ahead, and you know, do some tweaks here and there.
Do you guys do anything individually, or is it all with the team, Crackhead?
We play some. I think we play more individually than we play in as a team right now. And me personally, every time I'm in the game, I try to focus on things I need to improve, and then when we actually play together, we sit down and go through some kind of tactics. But yeah.
Yeah, so it's sort of the same for me. I mean, I try to at least try and play a cold case each day, you know. So the AVA aim stays with me, and you know, look over some old nade spots and stuff like that.
That's good. So I guess that pretty much sums up why Crackheads has been around for so long. You guys still remain active individually, so the team remains active because you guys are all still active, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have players who don't really. I mean, they play all of the tournaments, but unless we tell them to come on, they won't necessarily be there until tournament time.
At least have one or two that drags the other to the computer to play. It could differ who those 1 to 2 persons are, but there's always someone who wants to play, pretty much.
I see. So with Crackheads being the main kind of team for you two, how does that translate to competing in international, national-based tournaments like AIC or ISF?
Breaks my heart. No.
What?
I said it breaks my heart because Kim and Slice, they play for Sweden. There's not really a Norwegian team for me and Cyphers, but I mean, we tried for ISF last season. It didn't go very well. And yeah, me and Cyphers at least decided not to go for ICC this time.
Yeah, Sweden and I have been pretty successful, I guess. We haven't lost a game in national-based tournaments yet, but it's not really this. It's two totally different feelings competing with the national team and the normal team. I mean, my heart is in Crackheads, and I don't know, it's hard to get motivation to play with Sweden, but when you're in those tournaments, it's always like an honor to play for your country, I guess. So that motivates me a lot, and I usually play better in those tournaments. So it's been fun that we actually been as good as we have been.
Yeah, you guys have been performing really well for like 2 years or more now. Just by looking at the last ESL that occurred in March, you guys came first. Playing under Andromeda though. Want to explain that situation?
Well, let's just put the blame on Slice for some reason. Someone
Slice.
Yeah, Slice, who we generally say he's in charge of matchmaking or gathering for matches and everything that has to do with ESL. And there was a one too many ignored challenges in the ESL ladder, and then suddenly we had I think it was a 1 month ban from the ladder for some reason. However, the rules were interpreted a little differently. Some admins said we probably could play as Crackheads as it wasn't in the ladder, but we wanted to take the safe choice and just try with a different team. I sort of think that sums it up, unless Kimpah has something to add to it.
That's pretty much it.
Well, it didn't affect your performance at all. You guys played amazingly well. You didn't drop a single match. You dropped a few maps, but not a match, I don't think.
No, I think we lost a map to every team, actually.
No,
which is
not
actually...
against Reeves.
Oh, except Reeves, who we usually drop a map to, compared to...
What did you think about Reeves' performance, though? Generally, they were regarded as the team to beat next to you guys. How did they fare?
They didn't play like their usual selves. I can say that for sure. They had a few subs or ringers or step-ins or I don't really know what's going on, and they don't really invest that much time into the game either. So I think it sort of shows that if they don't stick with their team, they lose pretty quick.
And what do you guys think the hardest team was in that tournament, if it wasn't Reeves?
Semper Fidelity.
Yeah, I would say the same.
Did they they gave you the hardest trouble, or they looked the strongest in the tournament?
Well, they definitely gave us the hardest. They didn't look too strong, as they had to play 4 and 5 in the lower brackets afterwards.
I mean, we played them with 2 subs, I think, so we can't judge too much. They're definitely the team to look up to right now, if you don't count in Crackheads, because they haven't been a team for that long, but they've been practicing a lot and been evolving pretty much, and in a fast rate, I mean.
Yeah, I as well hope that they stay together and continue their progress. So with all that said, what was the best moment in ESL March? What made the tournament for you guys? Winning or something else?
No, I would say coming back after losing 5-1 on India against Semper. When Taz went that big and we were just we had no clue what to do. He just shut us down whatever we did. But actually gathering the team and then winning round by round to win it 7-6 in the end was pretty amazing.
Yeah, exactly that. The comeback versus Semper Fidelity, it's probably one of the strongest testaments to our team. I mean, that we can come back from pretty much everything.
Well, I'll make sure people go check out that VOD then. Taz is a pretty miracle scope. Were you guys surprised by that?
No. I mean, we play with him all the time. Usually we manage to shut him down a lot better than we managed to do that game. He was allowed to do whatever he wanted to. We didn't peek him together. We let him pick him up. We let him pick us off one by one during the entire game, which is not the way you play Taz.
Yeah, as Kwelie said, normally, like the 2 last tournaments or so, we have shut him down really hard. He has not getting a lot of frags, and we've been focused.
So you two have been competing around for a while. ICC, AIC, and ISF are potentially all coming up. What are you two doing right now? Like, are you guys going to be participating in those tournaments? And how are you preparing for them? Kwelie, if you want to go first.
Well, our main goal with Crackheads is AIC, since we can't compete in ICC or ISF with Crackheads. Personally, I'm not playing the ICC because I'm not a big fan of national tournaments, and it hasn't gone very well in the past. And I mean, I hope that the other Norwegians, besides from Crackheads, hopefully won't make a team. But I don't know. We'll see what they do. I probably won't participate in ICC at least.
So what are you doing to prepare for AIC? Like, is Crackheads doing anything?
We are trying to stay on top of our game as much as we can. Yeah, it's basically just participating in tournaments and the odd scrim here and there, making sure we aren't falling too much behind.
Yeah, so I guess that means, Kimpah, you're participating in AIC with Crackheads, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Team Sweden is participating in ICC. Not really preparing for it though, but I guess we'll try to come out on top this time also.
Well, I think you're one of the favorite teams. I think you've won both of the ones prior, right? So continuing on here, the International Country Championship by ESL is coming up. Kimpah, you're playing on Sweden. Kwelie, are you participating in it?
No, unfortunately not. I'm not a big fan of national teams and the way they work in esports. I find them rather limiting.
Okay, well, you go sit in a corner and while I talk to Kimpah
Thank
for a
you.
little bit. Kimpah, what are you doing to prepare for ICC?
Actually, as a team, we're doing pretty much nothing because we have a lot of stuff going on and a lot of different time schedules, so we can't really prepare for it. But individually, I guess I try to play as much as I can, which isn't that much at the moment, but yeah, I try my best to prepare for it.
Do you think your team, Sweden, will be prepared for it?
I think like we have a very natural team chemistry that doesn't really need so much practice. When we tried to do like tactics and practice for ISF and ICC before, it often failed pretty hard and ended up with people raging at each other. So we just try to relax and play our game when it matters, without any real preparation, I guess.
Okay then. Well, there's 20 plus nations competing this year. Are there any teams that are on your radar that could potentially be a problem for you?
I would say the top four is us, Belgium, Germany, and Finland. But probably Germany is the hardest one because they're the most active team, I guess. Finland is very strong too, but they've actually split up their team since they started with xFire, and two of the members stopped playing. But they will, of course, be very hard to beat also.
Yeah, my top three is actually Sweden, Germany, and Canada.
So you two have been competing around for a while. ICC, AIC, and ISF are potentially all coming up. What are you two doing right now? Like, are you guys going to be participating in those tournaments? And how are you preparing for them? Kwelie, if you want to go first.
Well, our main goal with Crackheads is AIC. Since we can't compete in ICC or ISF with Crackheads. Personally, I'm not playing the ICC because I'm not a big fan of national tournaments, and it hasn't gone very well in the past. And I mean, I hope that the other Norwegians, besides from Crackheads, hopefully won't make a team. But I don't know. We'll see what they do. I probably won't participate in ICC at least.
So what are you doing to prepare for AIC? Like, is Crackheads doing anything?
Well, we're trying to stay on top of our game as much as we can. Yeah, it's basically just participating in tournaments and the odd scrim here and there, making sure we aren't falling too much behind.
Yeah, so I guess that means, Kimpah, you're participating in AIC with Crackheads, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Team Sweden is participating in ICC. Not really preparing for it though, but I guess we'll try to come out on top this time also.
Well, I think you're one of the favorite teams. I think you've won both of the ones prior, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So do you think you're going to win again, or you don't really know?
I think we have a good chance. There's absolutely teams playing more than us, but we didn't really prepare for the last two either. So I don't know. We just we just have good communication when it actually matters. So I think we will finish top 3 at least.
We'll have to see how well you guys do. Moving on, what do you guys think about AVA's current state? Just with how the game is being run with tournaments, how Area Games is updating it, and all that stuff. Kimpah, if you want to go first.
It's hard to say. I mean, every time you ask someone, they say it's dead, but it's never been dead in my eyes. There's still people playing it, but there's old people and there's new people. I kind of like where Area is trying to take it now, because it's a lot better than before. But there is a lack of teams playing, I would say. So if there's some way to get more teams playing, that would be awesome.
Do you have any ideas for that? Like how to get more teams like playing consistently?
I mean, better prices, I would say, is the really only options for the monthly tournaments, and or maybe have because now the big tournaments are LAN tournaments, but if there was a possibility to have once every half year like a big online tournament with real prices and such, it would be more attractive for the teams.
Kwelie, do you share the same sentiment there?
Yes and no. I mean, it's not the issues I have with the current state is more on Red Duck's part. With, I mean, we've discussed this earlier that we would hope they would squish old bugs. You know, like making the game much more optimized, and basically making the game a better game, which would then attract new players, hopefully. I mean, you work with ESL, I work with ESL. You know how it's like 20k for just basically signing up and playing one match, basically, or playing 2 matches, and you get 20, 40k for just playing, which is really great in my opinion. I think we're doing, at least I think ESL is doing more than ever, making sure that it's accessible and worth it for new teams. I mean, they're not, even if they get stomped second round, they still get a prize.
Yeah, I'd have to agree there with ESL doing amazing things right now. Everyone can be a winner, basically.
And I mean, that's all because of area support.
Yeah.
We can't give euros from ESL. It's all because of area. So.
Yeah, Area Games and ESL are doing wonderful things for the competitive AVA community. So what do you guys think about the game balance, the ESL rule set, and what all the major tourneys are using? Because we see a lot of XMates.
Personally, I would love it if we went back to the ISF 2012 rules, which we competed with in AIC, which is basically no XM8, no F4F2s. I don't mind the Ian. The Ian is okay, but it is a little heartbreaking to see 8, 9 XM8s in one game, especially if you're a para like me, because the aim punch when you get shot by one is just, it's tough.
Do you not like the gameplay that comes out of the XM8?
Well, it decreases the skill ceiling significantly. It becomes a arena shooter more than a what do you call it, a competitive shooter. Because I don't even know where I'm going with this, but it decreases the skill ceiling definitely.
What do you think, Kimpah?
Personally, I don't really mind XM8s, because I mean, if there's 2 person with XM8s, the strongest one is always going to come out on top. And there's still use for the para. You just need to position that guy in the right place on the map where there's close quarter combat. Of course, there's always this annoying thing, just being pre-fired in the head with the XM8 when you scope. You kind of insta die, but it's more challenging, I guess. Since it's the same for everyone, I don't really care so much about it.
Would you say the XM8 balances out the power of a scope?
Almost.
Both yes and no.
I mean, we've been trying to start to run 5 scopes, 5 riflemans. I lied. That's even with having 2 of the best scopes in Europe on our team. We sometimes opt with 5 riflemen. We're 2, well, with say 4 XM8s or 5 XM8s.
Okay, well, what about the gameplay has stayed consistent since you started playing that you still like about the game that no other game really does? Kwelie, if you want to start.
The first thing that comes to mind is the UAV. I mean, as far as I know, there's like a UAV feature in like Call of Duty or some shit, but that's just bullshit. I don't know. It's a fun shooter. It's a shame Red Duck is not taking it where I would like to see it go. But I mean, it still has a lot of potential and hopefully a bright future ahead.
Kimpah.
I'm thinking. I actually don't know. I mean, I played 1.6 before, and it's just the game type itself with the C4 and 5 versus 5 that I love to compete in. I think the UAV is I like that actually. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's brings a new level to the game.
Yeah, that's the unique feature compared to say CS in my opinion.
Yeah, but AVA is a bit slower. I kind of like that too, but that also brings that it's a bit easier, I guess. I don't know. I just love competing. That's why I play AVA.
Nothing to say about the M67?
The what?
The grenades.
Oh.
No, I just throw them at the wrong place. Yeah.
Kim is the worst. Kim is literally the worst nader in Europe. Possibly the world.
Yeah, but it's true. You should hear our team speak every time I shout, "Watch out for my nade," because yeah, it goes everywhere.
Nice. Well, I think that's it for the interview. Is there anything you guys want to say to the AVA community, your team, or anyone else?
Make sure you subscribe to Kimpah's YouTube channel.
Thank you, Kwelie.
Keep up the good work. Hope to see more teams competing in ESL. The more teams sign up, the more the game can evolve, and yeah.
Thanks for everyone who's supporting us also.
Yes, that.
And thank you, Inc, for having us.
Yes,
No
that
problem.
too.
Thanks for coming on.